So in this video I'm going to show you how you can remove your car battery to replace it or to recharge it, to put it in. So I'm just going to show you how you can remove it and put in a new battery. So first off, you're going to want to disconnect the negative side, which is this side with the minus, like how this side has a plus on it. This is the positive side of the battery. You want to always disconnect the negative side of the battery first. And to do that, you're going to want to undo this bolt right here, and it's a 10mm socket that you want to use. So I'm just going to use this little wrench socket here. So you're going to want to put it on here and then start turning it. Alright, when it's loose, you can then just pop it off like that. My battery's kind of dead, so when I do this, nothing happens. But if your battery was like still had current in it and you did this, then you would see like little sparks and stuff coming off there. But don't be too alarmed about that. But just make sure that this doesn't touch anything else metal that's in the car. So what I like to do to prevent that is I just get a plastic bag and I put it around this, and then I wrap the plastic bag around the metal part, so now it can no longer contact anything else that is metal in the car. And I just put that to one place, which if I tilt the camera up a bit, you'll see I just tuck it up right there, so it's out the way. Alright, now that the negative side is done, you now want to do the same on the positive side. So here there's a little cap that I just have to lift up. Then there's that same bolt on this side here, also a 10mm. So you just want to go ahead and put the socket on there again and loosen it up. Alright, when that's loose, you can then lift up on this entire big thing. So that's this, like this entire little big section here. On other cars, some of them don't have this section. It's just, it will look exactly the same as the negative side, but just on the positive side. But this one has a big bit here. There we go. It's just a bit tight there in the back because of this bit. So you want to get this from wherever it's hooked onto and then push it out to the side. If I relocate the camera a bit, you can really see how big this piece is I'm talking about that goes over the battery. So now that that's off, you can just put that to one side. It can't really stretch much, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. Then now that that's out, there's only one thing else that's stopping you from removing the battery, and that is down here, just behind this little wire. Let me try to get a better camera angle of this. Alright, there we go. Just behind this wire, there's a bolt there, and that keeps in this little metal plate which touches the battery, and that keeps it connected so that the battery doesn't move around. As you see, I'm pushing, it doesn't go anywhere. It's because of that right there. So you want to remove this bolt and the little plate, and then you'll be able to take out the battery. So I'm gonna show you how you do that now. Alright, so now to get to that bolt down there, you're gonna need a 13mm socket, because that's what fits on there to get it off. And you're gonna need something that's a bit long, maybe not as long as this, but I've got this big extension so that it can fit down on there like so, and I still have a lot of room to then take it off. Now this isn't any product placement or anything, but something that might come in handy if you have a bunch of different sized like bits and like a bigger drive than you need and stuff, is these. So I have some extensions. So the long one that was here is what I've got on to this, and I've got some socket adapters because everything I have is different sized. So at the very top I've got one adapter here that can fit the long bar. Then I have another adapter at the end of the bar here that can fit the 13mm socket. So yeah, these come in handy, socket adapters. And these are 3/8 drive extensions. I should have probably got 1/2-inch drive extensions for this, but at the time I was still new to all of this, so I bought the wrong things. So the socket adapters come in very handy for this. Alright, so you want to put the wrench on there, make sure it's the right way so you can take it off. Then you just want to break this loose and undo it. Alright, that's still under a little bit, but the drive isn't taking it off anymore, so I'm just spinning it by hand now. Alright, there we go. Alright, so when that is out, you can then put your hand down in there and take the bolt off, and do not do what I did and drop the bolt in the car, because that could be a nightmare to get back, but I'll get that later. Then you want to take out the metal plate. I've got my tripod in the dodgiest position ever, and here's the metal plate that I've taken out. So as you can see, it's got like a little lip here on this side, and that's what clamps over the battery to keep it in place. So I'll put that to one side. Alright, now you get to the main part, that's taking out the actual battery. Just so you know, these batteries are a bit heavier than they look. They don't look all that heavy, but they're a bit heavy, so just be careful of that if it's your first time taking out a battery by yourself. So this one has handles, I think every battery does, or most of them. I'll try to position the camera a bit better so you can see it, but this handle here, and then if you pull up on this side you get another handle. Now I'll try to do this with one hand. I would prefer two, but for video purposes I shall go one-handed for this. Alright. So just move this over to the side as much as you can. Then you want to grab your battery, and then you want to just pull it out. But make sure that this plastic thing isn't in the way, like how mine's getting in the way. Alright, there you go. Now the battery is out, as you can see it there, and you're left back with the battery holder. Yeah, one tip I'll give you if you are replacing your battery and you're buying a completely new one and you want to know what size to get, you can get a ruler. Yes, you can get the ruler and put it from one side to the other, and you can measure how big the gap is and do it from here to there as well, so length and width. Then that way, when you know how big the actual tray is, you'll be able to get a battery that can fit within that size. So that's just a little tip I'll give you guys if you're gonna buy a new battery yourself.